As societies age, we're much more likely to have either family members or friends or neighbours who have some sort of physical limitations. So today on the show we're going to be sharing some really simple caregiving tips that anyone can use. And here to help us today is Ms. Kato, who is a professional for elderly caregiving. Thank you so much for your time today.
First, we'll discuss communication. It's important to greet elderly people face to face. Get in front of the person and bend down so your eyes are at the same level. If the person's sitting in a chair, lower yourself like this, or get down on one knee and then speak.
So why do you actually have to direct the question directly in front of their face and not, for example, from the side where I am?
As we age, our field of vision narrows and eyesight deteriorates. People's muscles become weaker too. An elderly person may not be able to turn easily or quickly towards you, so it's best you position yourself in front when talking.
Hello, how are you doing today? How are you feeling today?
Here's how to help physically frail people stand up. Ask the person to sit near the edge of the chair. Further to the front. You want to open your palms facing up and put the other person's hands on top of yours. Have the person hold your hands firmly. You shouldn't squeeze, just gently provide support.
So why, when you're doing this grip, you have the gentle grip and they have the harder grip, don't they? Why is that the case?
Elderly people's skin is rather thin and their bones are fragile. Their joints can get dislocated easily too, so you don't want to grab their hands using too much strength. First, lower your hands slightly toward yourself and lead so the person's hips rise a little. Now have them ease into a standing position by straightening the upper body and then the legs. Don't forcefully pull up though. Even after the person has stood up, don't release your hands until she's stable. Now we'll help someone roll over and sit up. First, have the person cross her arms over her chest. The palms should be on the collarbones. Next, have her bend her knees. Please ask the person to put the heels as close to the hips as possible. Then have her turn to face you. If you pull down the knees, the hips will follow, so you don't need to use much strength. Now, ask the person to uncross her arms and lower her feet below the bed. Make sure the legs are not overlapping. Then tell the person to use the lower elbow as a pivot. She should look toward her stomach to raise her head and sit up. During this step, you support the shoulders a little and adjust the center of gravity to stabilize the body. Ask if the person feels okay. Next, we'll help someone sit in a wheelchair.
Here's how to help people with paralysis in the left half of the body. Bring a wheelchair to their right side.
Ask the person to put strength into her right arm and bring the hips forward. Then have her grab the right arm of the wheelchair firmly with her right hand.
You need to place your leg right next to their paralyzed leg so it won't move around.
Lean forward.
Put a hand on their lower back. Once the person is standing, support their lower back with both your hands and guide the person into the wheelchair.
And what's the other key point?
If you support this part, the bone called the ilium, it's easier to move the whole body. This makes it possible to move the person using little strength.
You know, some of these seem quite complicated, but actually there's some really simple things we can do to help people who are, for example, physically impaired, whether they be family members or whether they be, people that we, very close to us or neighbours, that we can actually do. But out of everything, what is probably the most important thing that we should be doing or looking at doing?
It's important to empathize with the people you're trying to care for. Help without empathy causes discomfort, so always put yourself in the other person's shoes as you offer assistance.
Thank you so much for your time today. 今日はどうもありがとうございました。
ありがとうございました。
As the number of seniors continues to increase, it'll become impossible for families, nursing care facilities, and hospitals to take care of everything. Community-wide support systems are also necessary. We shouldn't simply assume that we can entrust care of the elderly to someone else. It's important to develop an awareness that everyone should be involved. And there's value in creating a caring society where people can provide help to those in need. Thanks for watching, and I hope you'll join me again next time.